Hello, welcome to the queue. It is Operation RCT. It is turn 18. Normally time for Germany's turn, but the Allies have just pulled ahead and we can't catch them. The U.S. on their last turn scored technology supremacy, so that puts the Allies up to 8, the Axis at 6, and Russia at the common turn, I guess, at 4. So um, the way the game looks, we might be able to gain some ground by taking away some of the Allied, but there are no realistic paths for the Axis to gain any more victory points. Um, the Soviets as well, pretty much multiple turns away from um, well, their technology is way off. Mediterranean, maybe they get Istanbul, but that's still 2 or 3 turns away. In which case the game will normally end anyway. So we have decided that the Allies have won this game. So congratulations to Boston Bruce and Global War Enthusiast. Um, the Axis will come in second, and the Common Turn third. As far as the game itself, it was nice to see a conclusion to the Civil War, even if it was only last turn. I could have done it a couple turns earlier. However, what I needed to do first was eliminate the U.S. ground force presence in Africa there. And the African Corps, that was their main mission in this game. There was never any thought of sending them against Cairo like everybody does. When I brought them into Africa, I brought them into Tripolitania. Now, you do have, because most of them are mobile and the desert doesn't affect them, they could go here for that attack, but more importantly, they could go into here. And we did. We pushed the U.S. out. They did come back, and we eliminated them again. And without any U.S. ground forces, um, uh, Britain being in the position it was in, because what I would consider a success would be the African Corps this turn. The second success for Germany would be the convoying, Germany and Italy. I guess Italy had a part to play here as well. They had some forces in there as well. Um, but as you can see, turn 18, we're still going to be convoying the tar out of Britain and keeping that income down. Um, we've got units in place to do some various things there in the Atlantic. Um, and part of that is in the due process of Germany's fleet, having a fleet. We had some pressure that we could have done some attacks there in England, um, which is the reason why the majority of the British fleet is there, other than the battleships, which are down south, with a couple of the U.S. Ships providing support as well. But we were able to keep England pretty much bottled up. There is a huge amount of resources there in the defense of England. I mean, look at the American aircraft there. There's 2 jets, 4 fighters, 5 fighters, a bomber, and that's not to mention all the Lend-Lease fighters to Britain. So America pumped a great deal of resources in the defense of England. So I feel like the battle for the Atlantic, pretty much Germany won. The battle for North Africa, the African Corps won. Cairo didn't fall, and the Italians fizzled out here in the Middle Africa. But I will say that the whole idea of this huge force here was initially going to coincide with Japan's forces, and with those two combined forces, I thought we had a real good chance of holding all this, threatening, if not taking Cairo. Um, However, things did not work out that way. Um, in Russia, I feel like our bombing campaign was successful. Every factory except the Moscow factory at one point had damage. The Stalingrad one has been repaired, actually twice, I think. Um, but even with all that, we still could not hold the parts of Russia that we had. Because there was a withdrawal maybe 2 turns ago that began for Russian forces. Now we were able to hold the border with ease, but I think that was in part due to this strategy here, which I kind of wish I had seen this played out. Um, I mean, there is a huge stack here going against Calcutta um, of tanks and mechs, and my assumption is the planes would eventually came down when the attack was made. I assume the cavalry is going over there, but maybe they were coming over on this side to eat up Iraq and Syria and Jordan. Um, who knows? The game probably needed to go at least 2 turns to see this battle or this battle from the Russians. And the only real, I will say, we did make a deal. The Germans and the Russians made a deal for Scandinavia up there. So um, when we were at war with Russia, we pretty much made a Scandinavia pact. I'll leave Helsinki to him and the Victory Point, and then I'll take the 2 other Finlands. So was that Southern Finland and Lapland, and use Lapland to springboard into Norway. And pretty much, I won't attack you if you won't attack me up in there, until we started withdrawing from Russia, and a great deal of that was, or the reason I'll say, was the Victory Point here, the triumph of capitalism. We really wanted Russian income to go up so that that comes off the board. And at this point, it still hasn't. So maybe we needed to make our withdrawal, on both sides of Russia, Japan as well, just a little bit sooner. That would have helped. The U.S. not getting the tech roll for the Victory Point would have helped, but those things not going our way, pretty much that is the end of this game. Stalemate in the Pacific, both big fleets looking at each other. Part of that is the big blue fleet here hiding in port and wake. I guess you have to do that if you want to keep the big blue fleet as a victory point. So he could have came out and attacked, but I'm pretty sure that pretty much leaves the U.S. at a huge disadvantage, because Japan, anything that survives can repair. The U.S. has nothing. They got to go all the way back here to Hawaii to repair. So it's a logistical problem that kept the big blue fleet bottled up. But that's the choice that the U.S. made, and it worked out because they are the winners of this game. So I don't really think I have much else to add to this game. Some things, going in our favor. Italy still at 12 income at round 18. Still battling for the Atlantic at round 18. Most of North Africa around 18. And if you want to call these couple Italians left over here, they're probably not long for the world. But I think we did some good things as the Axis, but not good enough. So that is it. Thanks for watching this YouTube war, and we will be starting a new one, which will be Operation 20th Corps. And it may start, I'm going to head out of town, but it may start before I get back, depending on the time frames of people cleaning up the board and resetting it up and getting turns going. So, like I said, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll tune in for the next game.